So, okay, thank you so much. I just want to make sure that the comments were working. So do you ever wonder if your boxers get cold? Sort of the theme of today and the theme of our week here. And for those of you in cold climates, I was wondering if you use any cold weather doggy equipment. And if you do, if you can just throw it in the comments and I will definitely respond to them later. Today I'm going to share with you some information about cold weather and dogs and 6 tips on how you can protect your boxer pups in the cold. So first off, I just want to address a quick misconception that because a dog has fur, they don't get cold. This is simply not true, especially for boxers who are short-haired dogs. In fact, did you know that dogs spend a great deal of energy trying to stay warm when they are cold? So in those winter months, your dogs are probably using a lot more energy than in the summer months when they can lay in the sun. The other thing I wanted to point out is that dogs can get frostbite, especially on their ears and their paws, those outer extremities, and they can experience hypothermia. So those are 2 things that are super important. And then the next question becomes, how do you know when your boxer is cold? Well, typically you'll see them shaking. They kind of shiver. Daisy sometimes does that. They may act anxious. They may whine. They may slow down a bit. They may seek out some warm locations in your house or wherever you guys are. And sometimes you'll actually see, if you're walking with your boxer, they will lift their paws up off of the ground. That happens both in the hot weather and in the cold weather. So if you notice that they're doing that, it means that the ground is really too warm for the bottom of their, too cold for the bottom of their pads, or too warm in the summertime. Remember, this is a good rule of thumb. If you're bundled up and you're outside and you're cold, your boxer is probably also cold. So that's something to think about. And this does not mean that you should not take your boxers outside in the winter, because as we know, boxers are high energy, active dogs. So you do want to make sure you get them out and you exercise them regularly. So I am by no means saying that you should not take them outside. I just want you to keep in mind what their behavior is when they are out there and when they may be too cold. So I want to just give you 6 quick tips on how you can help your boxer in the cold weather. Number 1, don't leave your boxer outside or in a car without heat. Make sure you're close enough to monitor them and their behaviors, and especially when they're in the cold condition. Tip number 2, check their paws. Make sure you're looking at them regularly to check and make sure they're not red or cracked. Sometimes they end up bleeding, and you definitely can see on the bottom of their pads when they come in. The ice and the sometimes the salt that's laid down is really just not good for them. I've tried booties. It's quite hilarious to watch, but it's really hard for them to walk in them. So you have to kind of see what's best for your boxer. So keep that in mind. Tip number 3, make sure that they're sleeping up off of the floor and away from drafts. So not next to a door, away from the windows maybe. And by no means am I saying have them sleep on your bed, although I'm guilty of that sometimes. But you just want to make sure that they are up off of the cold floor. So it's great if you have carpets. We don't in our house, so we usually use a bed of some kind. They have really nice ones at Costco's where I usually go to get them because they're easily replaceable if you need to. So it's just something to think about, that, you know, if they're sleeping on the cold floor next to your bed and they're shivering, it's probably too cold for them. So that is the other tip. The 4th tip is bathe them as little as possible. And the reason why I actually say this is I actually love to bathe my dogs every couple of weeks. But in the wintertime, it makes their skin really dry. So you want to just make sure that you're not over bathing them, and then they're getting really dry skin for that as well. So keep that in mind when you're bathing them. And number 5, I have posted a few times about this during this week because we were going upstate to Vermont. And as I was doing my little checklist, I was looking to see what I had for the pups. So I have two. I use a really great sweater. It took me a really long time to find the fit because boxers are so broad in the chest, so it's hard to see them get a really good fit for a sweater unless you get the Velcro that wrap around the middle of their stomach, and even them, those tend to be a little bit big as well. So I found a great sweater. I posted it earlier today. It fits phenomenally. My boxers are 60 and 65 pounds, so it's a great for that. Anything bigger, I would go with the double extra large. So you could check that post out. That's my favorite sweater for them, and it's somewhat reasonable, and it washes well, and it stretches a little bit, so it does fit them nicely, and it's super warm for them as well. So something to think about for the winter months is buy them a coat or a sweater. And the last tip I wanted to tell you guys about is to have you apply coconut oil topically to their ears, their paws, sometimes the back by their bum is a little bit, their tail, like their nub. And I actually use a product called Animal Sense ointment for their paws and their ears, which is similar to a coconut oil. It just has a bunch of essential oils and things that I use for them. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that if you are interested in trying the Animal Sense ointments, I'd be happy to send you a sample. You just need to email me at daisy@mydailyboxer.com, your address, and I will send a free sample for you to try to see if you like it. Or you can just use coconut oil, which I get from Costco, and I'll show you my bottle when I walk over there to show you how to do this. Also, if you head over to our website at www.dailyboxer.com and enter your email address, I'll send you a free copy of our Ultimate Boxer Lover Resource Guide, which is super helpful, and you'll probably like that a lot as well if you have boxers in your house. I hope this information was helpful, and now let me introduce you to my pups really quickly, and I'll show you how to apply that ointment. So just give me a second. Get up here without... Here we go. All right, so they're both sleeping on the couch right now. That's actually the bed that we use. It's a nice bed for down here on the tile floor. But this is Daisy. Say hi, my pretty girl. She's a sleepy little girl. I'm going to show you how I do her paws in a second. And this is Roscoe. You can see he actually has his sweater on now because he was just outside. It actually fits him really good. It looks funny on him right now, but it does fit him pretty good. And it's a great sweater. So let me just show you really quick. I'm going to set this up here so you can see Daisy and pull you down a little bit. Yeah, the doggy jackets are great, Danielle. Okay, so this is what I would suggest for their paws if you're taking them out in the really super cold. It's regular coconut oil from, I get the big one from Costco because I use it for everything. But what I'm going to show you is I use this product called Animal Sense ointment. It's a little bit thicker than the coconut oil. One thing I will tell you is put this on right before you go out, and because you don't really want them walking around with oil on the bottom of their paws around your house. Would be cleaning a lot. So right before you go out, just put a little bit on. I'll show you how to do that now. And then when they come in, if you just wipe their paws, check them, make sure that there's nothing going on down there. So you can see it's kind of thick. She loves this. She's going to start licking and drooling all over the place. You can see I've kind of dipped into this, and I have a new one that I can send you a sample of. So can I see your paw, little girl? Thank you. You're such a good girl. So if you look here at the bottom of her pads, what I do is I just go like this on the bottom. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay, I rub it in. I know you're going to try and lick with that tongue all over this right now. And I rub it in a little bit, making sure I get those outer edges, because that's where it seems, you know, if they're going to get red, they will. And she's drooling everywhere. Like that. Yes, and it is safe for them and won't hurt them. So if you'd like a sample, just send an email to daisy@dailyboxer.com. I'll go back in and put the email address in the description so you guys will remember that. But thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this information was helpful to you. And have a happy new year since we're in 2018. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.